Good morning. We're back in the world of Middle Earth, and we are going to continue and hopefully finish the quest here at High King's Crossing. Now, the only quest I think we have at the moment... Where are we? Evendom. So that one goes to Tinadir. That one goes to Tinadir. So the only two we have in the immediate area are the ones for the ruins where all the tomb robbers are. We're going to get on our horse to do this. And I think we're going to be going back there a couple of times before we're finished at least one of the chains. Not a horrible thing. But right now we need to defeat some tomb robbers and we need to check the entryways. Oh, let's head out there. You can see the ruins from here. Pretty impressive ruins, huh? That was a nice, I don't know if that was a city, an outpost, or what it was, but it was definitely nice at one point. Really, especially looks nice at night. Oh, hold on. We're going to be a tourist, and we're going to take a nice big screenshot of that. And we're going to get a little closer to it. We're now swimming. We're going to go up. Oh, there. That was a nice screenshot, I'm sure. Okay. Done being a tourist. And I do believe all of these guys here are, yep, green. So we can aggro every one of them. And this is going to be some fun stuff. Where are you? Oh, you're over here. Oh, excuse me. I'd like to talk to you. You're being evicted. You're all being evicted. So we have a doorway here. And the deep ruts in the ground and small wooden pieces identify this as an old storeroom. Okay, so we have an old storeroom here, which we cannot go into yet because we do not have the corresponding quest. Okay. Alright, so while we are killing things and looking for doors... You know, obviously I play LOTRO, and I play a lot of other games, as my channel has demonstrated. I mean, maybe not a total ton of games, but enough of them. I enjoy them. And I guess you could say I've enjoyed games most of my life. I've enjoyed board games, of course, because I grew up with them. Things like Monopoly, Battleship, Connect 4, Operation. I'm sure there were others. Mousetrap. Large amount of pottery shards identify this as a dining hall. Okay. I think we need to heal a little bit. There. But that's not the games you were thinking of. You're thinking of video games. And yes, I have enjoyed wide varieties of those over my life, too. And, oh, you're just a scruffy tomb robber. Okay. Although there are 2 named mobs in here that I'm gonna probably end up killing and then killing again later. Yeah, he's one of them. Oh, I don't have to kill him yet. He's gray. Okay. I can accept that. A faint etching of swords and bows lines the doorway. This must have been the armory. I'd say my first video game console... I know that there was either a Commodore 64 or VIC-20 when I was younger. And technically, it wasn't mine. That was my dad's. But my first real recollection of... Oh, I killed him anyway. Oh, well. My first recollection of playing a video game console was the Atari 2600 that me and my brother played all the time. Well, you know, all the time is relative when our parents allowed us to play it. Because our parents weren't exactly allowing us to sit on our butts playing video games all day. This door was either left unmarked or time has worn away any inscription. And that's Ogden Oaks. He's the other named guy, and we're just going to avoid killing him for now. But yeah, I played quite a number of games on my Atari. Should I call it my Atari or our Atari, considering technically it was my brother's too? I wonder if my brother still has it. Okay, off topic. I played, obviously, Pong, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. There was one that had a bunch of sports games, like tennis type games and stuff like that. And yes, I played the cheesy game E.T. because I know people say that E.T. was the worst game ever put out for an Atari. But you know what? I liked it. I mean, of course, I liked the movie, and I was a kid. So, I ended up liking the game. The high point of the ruins, the scattered debris of weaponry makes it clear that these were the barracks. And it looks like we can go back and talk to people at High King's Crossing now. There was even a Superman game. I remember that vaguely. But yeah, that was my first gaming console when I was a kid. Was the Atari 2600. And it was actually very fun, and honestly, I don't know how my parents managed to afford the Atari and the various games that we had growing up, because we had quite a few of them. I do remember some of them we would get used, because back then there was a big market for used video games, obviously. And I think we even traded in a few of the games that my brother and I weren't really playing to get games cheaper. Still. Never did have, you know, some of the fancier game consoles that some of my schoolmates got. But, you know what? If you had a game console at all, well, you were doing something right. Yeah, you can chase me. And then, I guess when I was a teenager, not sure exactly how old I was, my parents got a computer. And this was, like the mid-80s. So, wasn't exactly like, you know, the bestest thing ever. Well, not compared to today, but back then it was the bestest thing ever. In fact, it was a Tandy 1000. And I remember one of the first games I ever played on that was one of the King's Quest games. And I almost want to say it was King's Quest 4. Okay, let's talk to this guy here.
What do you need?
So a storeroom, a dining hall, barracks, an armory, and one room that was unmarked, either intentionally or a loss to time. Interesting.
Would you do something for me?
While you were examining those entrances, I was reading up on some of the things that went through the port. The records indicate weapons and pottery were the primary things shipped along the river. I wonder if there are any still left. There are many pieces of knowledge that were once known and have left this land, smithing and artisanship among the greatest. If we could recover some items from the port, we might be able to make greater things for the future. Please return to Barad Tharsir and see if you can find some things left behind and overlooked by the robbers there. A shield, weapon, and vase would be of the most use to my studies. Because, of course, I couldn't have done that the first time, right? Okay.
Greetings.
You have driven off several of the contingent. I am pleased to hear it and to know that the robbers have less of a hold on Barad Tharsir than they once did. You have my thanks, but do not rest yet. We have just begun to wrest those ruins back.
Might I take a moment of your time?
And I am now known to the wardens of Anuminus. Very nice. My research shows Barad Tharsir was the north port of my ancestors on the shipping lane down the Baranduin. I do not know what the tomb robbers could be interested in there. There should not be much value left. But if they are interested, then I am interested. What do they know that we don't? Your earlier work has served us well. My scouts tell me that two of the more prominent robbers have emerged from the ruins and are leading the digs themselves. They are the key to understanding the tomb robbers' intent in Barad Tharsir. Return to the ruins and collect the orders of the two particular brigands, Atwood and Oakes. These orders will be the clue we need to solve the mystery. And like I said, two named robbers, and we would have to go back for them. So we got 15 LOTRO points for what? Reputation. And where is this? Rangers. No, that Rangers of Estelden. Wardens of Anuminus. We just made acquaintance with them. So I don't know how that... Oh, I bet you it's for... Yeah. We got 5 points for the rap and 10 points for finishing quests. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, would you close already? Thank you. And we got known to the wardens. Well, that's very nice. And... find a ranger at the Colossus camp to speak with about the ring you found. Oh, good thing I was looking at that stuff. because we have a quest item in our bag, and
How can I be of service?
you found this within a crawler, you say? I wonder how it got there. Well, my guess is they swallowed it.
Stay
I
a
examined
moment.
the ring you found, and it is certainly from the Old Kingdom. It must have somehow gone overboard from a ship carrying it. The tide slowly carried it to shore, where it was buried within the dunes, forgotten until a crawler accidentally devoured it. There were many ships that traveled the wakes and many waters, and many storms that harried or wrecked them, particularly along this stretch of water. I wonder how many other pieces of jewelry fell overboard and made their way to the sands. There's one way to know. Head back to where you found this piece and search the crawlers there for other pieces of jewelry. If any of them swallowed one, odds are more of them have as well. Return with whatever you find. So I have to kill some worms and potentially extract pieces of jewelry from their guts. Because that made so much sense. So, back to what we were talking about. Yes, I had a Tandy 1000, and I'd say one of the first games I remember playing is King's Quest, and I want to say it's King's Quest 4, but I'm not sure. It could have been the first King's Quest, for all I know. I also remember playing a lot of Tetris. I never got like professionally good at it, but I enjoyed playing it, and I was decent, and it was a lot of fun. Actually, it was a lot of fun back then. And there was another game that I played a lot of when I was a little bit older. It's like late teens or maybe even later, because my parents did eventually give me that Tandy 1000 to keep. And I kind of wish I still had it, but, well, honestly, it wouldn't have do me any good now. It would be a brick. Big old fancy doorstop. It would have been a nice little bit of history, though. But anyway, yeah. The other game I remember playing, and I was more of a young adult by that point, was Leisure Suit Larry. Anybody who knows what Leisure Suit Larry is does not need me to explain it. And anybody that doesn't know, well, you don't need me to explain it. It was hilarious, though. So, after the Tandy, the next game I really remember... Oh yeah, and I don't think I played Doom on the Tandy. I don't think it was powerful enough. Wait, maybe? I vaguely recall having a floppy disk with the Trial Doom on it. Okay, I can't remember for sure. So we're going to go with possible. But yeah, the next gaming console I remember owning is the SNES. And once again, I kind of wish I still had it. But I can't be too mad about not having it, because I did end up at some point giving it to somebody who did not have a gaming console and could not afford one. And it was after I had gotten another computer. But I loved playing the SNES. I'd say next to the Atari, my favorite console ever. I played Donkey Kong Country, I played Mario Kart. I played a game called On the Ball, which was a giant maze. And the whole point was to move the maze around the ball and keep the ball from touching the sides of the maze. I'm serious. That was the whole point of the game. And it was fun. And it was hard. And some rounds used to take me so many tries to beat. And to me, that was just total fun. And of course, there was things like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Because once again, you know, I do love RPGs. And that may have been the beginning of my love of RPGs. Ah, but here's the vase. I don't know why the vase is way up here, but here it is. We're going to just... I guess we could just jump down. Oh, hush. Do you mind? Quit shooting me with arrows, thanks. I think I actually played a couple others, too. I want to say there was a... I don't think it was Secret of Mana. No, I think I did have Secret of Mana. And something else that I can barely remember. Chronos Trigger. I think that was the name of the other one. But yeah, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and it really introduced me to the RPG even more so than King's Quest did. But then I got a computer, which I had gotten... My roommate had upgraded his computer multiple times. And he had this pile of parts. And he kept promising, I'll build you your own computer. Because I was using his. But I waited and I waited. And no computer. So I actually took it upon myself one day to sit there with this box full of components and figure it out. And by the time he came home, I was installing Windows on my very own computer. And I'm pretty sure that was... I don't think it was Windows 95. No, I do believe it was probably Windows 3.1 still. I do remember this was back when AOL 1.0 was a thing. It was back when people would download list of AOL account names and passwords to use. Yes, it was a very, very wild, wild west time on the internet back then. But at any rate, I built my own computer because I wanted to play a game. And that game was Diablo. And let me tell you, out of all the ARPGs, it is one of my favorites. It is not my favorite because my favorite is, of course, Diablo 2. And I completed Tomb Defender. And I have somebody shooting at me. Don't we have a chest over here? No, we don't. Okay. Back to town. Or back to High King's Crossing, which we can see from way over here. So yeah. Diablo, Diablo 2 are probably two of my all-time favorite games, next to LOTRO. And I believe I actually have Diablo 2, or maybe even the original Diablo, installed on this machine. So I like to play them occasionally, even to this day. And from there, well, there's been plenty of games over time. I've enjoyed playing Mahjong games. I've enjoyed playing, well, Tetris again. What else have I enjoyed playing? I used to have an account, was it Pogo.com? Where you could play all these different games, and some of my favorite games to play on there were like match 3 games, which is something else I still really enjoy to this day, is match 3 games, although I'm not finding as many of them I like as I used to, mostly because a lot of match 3 games nowadays have these, what do they call it, energy gates. So if you use up too many lives, then you have to wait for them to regenerate, and they have all this pay to win stuff in their little cash shops, and I'm just not into that. So yeah, for the most part I've stopped playing match 3 games, but I did love them, and Mahjong games, and a lot of other
Greetings.
simple puzzle game type games. These relics do not appear on the surface to hold anything new or different, but only a fool would stop there. I will continue to examine them.
Stay a moment.
Most of the items you recovered had the same mark you told me was outside the storeroom. I think we should focus our efforts there. I have spied a great many robbers entering and exiting that doorway, but they never seem to be carrying anything out. They must be loading it all in crates and bags on carts. We must know what they have found in there, and it must be a great deal if they are waiting to move it until they have it all. Head within the storehouse and search whatever containers you find there. We must know what they have found.
How can I be of service?
These are extraordinary. They will need some cleaning and polish, but the workmanship is exquisite. They can teach us a lot about how to place intricate detail into rings and earrings. Okay, so we finished that one. Oh, this is the guy we need to talk to here.
What can I do for you?
These tell of most troubling things indeed. There's a room where goods not listed on the manifest were taken and stored. If this room still exists, it could hold an untold fortune of history.
Would you do something
Now
for
I
me?
know what they are seeking. There's a room else somewhere within the ruins of Barad Tharsir where anything not documented on a ship's register of goods would be taken and held until ownership could be proven. While most of those items have probably been lost to history, there could still be a wealth of small trinkets and jewelry hidden within. The room is reported to be on the south side of the ruins. From these reports, the door looks like any other, and the room is not that deep within. I'm amazed it has lasted this long, but as I said earlier, we ourselves thought Barad Tharsir to be empty and picked over. We were clearly wrong. Return to the ruins on the beach and find the room. Search within and return with what you may find. If any disturb you while you're there, put an end to them. Barad Tharsir shall be returned to us. Okay. So, back out there again. We're going to go examine the storeroom, which we weren't able to enter earlier. And we're going to go examine that room that had no marks on it. Because of course we are. So what are some of the other games I've enjoyed playing? Well, Torchlight, which I believe was made by the creators of Diablo 2. And of course, Torchlight 2 was fun too. I have played Rift, which when I got into it was already starting to decline, but still had a lot of fun, well, closing rifts. And it was pretty. And they definitely had some very stylized outfits. We'll put it that way. I've played Terra for a little bit. Not a ton. I think I only played it for a few months. It was fun, but not nearly as fun as LOTRO. Which, honestly, I played all these games in between playing LOTRO. And I never could. None of them ever, like, pulled me completely away from LOTRO. I'd still play LOTRO on a fairly regular basis while playing these two. But yeah, I've played quite a number of games over time, and let's see. This is the storeroom. And of course, here's a loaded cart we need to look at. And then we need to take care of these guys, which have ambushed us. Ooh, you've ambushed us. How exciting. And we'll look at these. And we might as well get all of these while we're at it. Okay, come here, buddies. Ah. Well, that was funny. Of course, maybe I should be a little more careful. I did get pretty low in health there. I think. Yep, we're finished in that room. I don't think I can even go back in there now. Can I? Oh, I can. Okay. But we're done looking in there. Oh yeah, another game I thought of that I haven't played in a long time. I do think I actually own it on GOG, is Warcraft 2. That was actually a pretty fun game. I mean, I was never very good at it, but I had a lot of fun with it. I remember building up my little army and sending it out. And I usually played the humans, and I sent my armies out after the orcs. And it was actually very fun and enjoyable. Which did try playing World of Warcraft afterward, but I was never really invested in that one. I think I only played it for like a total of 4 months. Really couldn't get into it. I don't think I like the graphics that much. Of course, when you look at LOTRO being a little more realistic looking. World of Warcraft seemed very cartoony. It actually still seems kind of cartoony to me. That looks like somebody's tomb. It is an ancient tomb. Bart Magic. I see the false orders work. Too bad I didn't catch a ranger with them. Barad Tharsir has no wealth left. We picked it over and stripped the carcass of these ruins. Who's there? Tomb robber defeated. And no wealth left, huh? I'd like to know whose important tomb is here. Because this would have been somebody important to have such a big catacomb. To me, that history is worth more than any gold you might have found there. I wonder if the Rangers would feel the same way. Perhaps. Perhaps history to them would be more important than the artifacts. So, here we are playing LOTRO. And I am right about at 12 years on playing it now. I know, because this past year, in January or February, whenever it was, I got my 11-year box, which included the emote 11sies, which I actually really like that emote, because you actually sit down and eat. And why we didn't get that right away is beyond me, but okay, whatever. I remember people used to mine the ore deposits, and they would take the ore, and then they would leave the other stuff behind. Like, they would take the gold ore, but they would leave the flat whetstone. So, the deposit wouldn't disappear, but it wouldn't have any ore in it left. It was a little annoying. Although, you know, sometimes you're just looking for whatever you can get out of the deposit. And I think we might be done after we turn these in. I'm not sure.
Greetings.
So there was nothing but dirt and rubble in the carts, and an ambush awaiting those that sought them out. If the robbers are that devious here, I shudder to think what trouble will await us within the estates to the north.
What can I do for you?
So their leader attempted to ambush you. It appears like this was just a ruse then. The robbers have been getting increasingly clever in their attempts to ambush us. Not clever enough to beat you, though. One day, with the rest of Evendom, Barad Tharsir will see her glory restored. And yes, I do think we are done with the quest here. So, we'll take ourselves over to Tenandir, which is our next destination. We're going to take a slow stable. Because why not? We can look at a little bit more of the scenery on the way. We got a nice little deer there. I think that was a robber. Some ore, another robber. I know, that's not the scenery. That's the mobs and other landscape critters. Nice big moon over there. I think it's almost 4 dawn? Let's find out. Yep. Yep, it's 4 dawn. 12 minutes until dawn. Well, at least at certain times of day I can figure out where we are in the day-night cycle. There is a quest here that has me going all over the place looking for clues. Shoot. I do not like doing that one. But I did say I was going to do every quest in a area, so I guess I get to do it regardless of whether or not I like it. After 12 years, I mean, I have to be honest. The game has certainly lost popularity. Not as many people play it as used to. It would be nice to see a revival in the game. And I'm hoping that if the rumors are true, EG7 is supposed to be doing a major upgrade of the interface and maybe the graphics next year. I'm not going to hold my breath, though. Regardless of how popular or not popular this game is, though, obviously I've enjoyed it. I still play it after 12 years, and I'm going to continue playing it because it's not the game that draws us to this, but the world. Tolkien's Middle Earth. You know, you get to see Bree. You get to see the Shire. You get to see the Trollshaws and Rivendell and Moria. I can't wait until we can get into Moria. And that is why I love the game so much, is the world and the lore. And that's actually kind of what I'm hoping for with New World 2, that they're able to build out a world and lore that's worth going to explore and learn. Okay, so let us talk to We'll talk to Calenglad first. Oh, Calenglad.
Greetings.
What is it that you have there? A letter from Aragorn. Let me see it. What is it you call yourself? Medriel? I'm sorry, but this note is not enough. Tomb robbers have plundered the vaults and tombs of Annúminas, seeking to despoil the heritage of the Dunedain. This could be a forgery intended to relax our guard. Nay, I am afraid I cannot trust the words of this letter. How am I to know you are true? Deeds, not words, matter to me.
How can I be of service?
You put me in a difficult situation. I cannot in good conscience help you without first administering a test of your character. But if you are indeed sent by Aragorn, any delay is an affront to my lord. I will not make this decision alone. Render your aid to the rest of my brethren, to Astuil, Forchon, and Nethman. Once they are satisfied that you are indeed of good character and do not have villainous motive, I will consider your petition once more. You will find my fellow rangers here at Tenedain. If, however, you prove false, I will have you cast into the lake with any of your robber friends that I catch. And
How can I be of service?
have you yet been to the encampment of our brothers in the North Downs? Once fair Estelden still served us honorably, even now as a base for our rangers to train and prepare the forces of Angmar pour down from the northern waste. Not that we don't need your help here, but you may wish to speak with Nether in Estelden. I hear that matters there have become quite dire as the orcs encamp in ever greater numbers and threaten to overwhelm our people. Okay, so that's a quest that sends me back to Estelden to talk to somebody, which I can do off camera because, we don't need to see me go back to Estelden just to talk to someone. And this is Archel. I'm just going to call him Archa because I'm not sure how to say his name. And he's got all sorts of quests for us, doesn't he?
How can I be of service?
Ah, fresh blood. You may be just what we need to begin reclaiming the Eastern Estates. Okay, so. Now, he has 4 quests. This guy has a quest for us. This guy has a quest for us. And somewhere over here, this guy has a quest for us. And that's not the only one, so there are a couple more towards the back, which I'll show you. We're not going to take them today. We'll do that next time because that's an awful lot of reading. And my throat is starting to complain that it's dry. I'm out of water. So, we go back here, and there's a area here. It's got a little bit of crafting, so we can do some cooking, some foraging, and I think this is a study in here. Yep, it's a study. We've got mannequins, because why not? Here's another guy with a quest. There's another guy with a quest. There's a guy with a quest, or do we need to talk to him? We need to talk to him.
How can I be of service?
You have been sent by Era here. Good. We have great need of trustworthy warriors to help us against the growing threat of robbers and the like that have grown up in recent months here, for we are few, and it threatens to overwhelm us. So yeah, he has a quest. Tomb Raider sashes. Okay, but we're going, like I said, we're going to be talking about that next time. I don't think there are any quests up here. I don't know if we can go in here yet. Oh, we can. Okay. So this is Tenedain Keep, which is in a bit of a state of ruins. but would have been quite an impressive place at one time. Look at that. I bet you that was gorgeous. And look at that statue up there. Anyway, we're not gonna wander through the whole thing, although the only thing left to see is a hall in that direction, a hall in that direction. I think that's about it, really, because they don't let you go any further into it than that. Too bad. I imagine if they had fleshed this place out, it would have been a great place to do some role-playing. Even as it is, it's a decent place for some role-playing. Look at these. I want to say those are Gondorian in design. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. I don't know. But, yes, there's lots and lots of quests to be had here in Tinadir. And this won't be the only place to have quests. There's going to be quests at 1, 2, 3, 4 more locations here in Evendom, at the very least. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So yeah, there's a lot of quests to be had still in Evendom, and we will hopefully get to them all at some point. But that won't be today. And until next time, bye for now.